Hey everyone, today we're jumping into something that's totally changing the game for careers. How to get a massive boost without spending 4 years in college. We're going to dive deep into the world of 6-month certificate programs. Think of it as a fast track to a better job and, you guessed it, higher pay.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. Is this you? You're ambitious, you've got skills, but maybe that whole 4-year degree thing just wasn't in the cards. So where do you go from here? Well, the good news is there's a really powerful and, more importantly, a really direct alternative. And this number? This is exactly why this topic is so important. On average, people who get a certificate can earn 10 to 15% more than someone with just a high school diploma. I mean, that is a serious pay bump, and it's something you can do in less than a year. It's a total game changer for so many people.
Okay, so here's what we've got on deck today. We're going to look at why these certificates are so effective, what kind of jobs you can actually get, who's backing these programs, you'll be surprised, how to pick the right one for you, the honest pros and cons, and then what's your next move?
So let's start at the beginning. What are these programs, really? And why are they suddenly becoming such a popular way to get ahead in your career?
So here's the deal. These programs are all about focus. They just cut out all the extra stuff and teach you the specific, hands-on skills that employers are looking for right now. A ton of them are online too, which means you get all this flexibility to learn whenever and wherever it works for you.
And here's why this is such a big deal. You know, about 22.6% of Americans over 25 have a high school diploma as their highest level of education. These certificates basically create this incredible bridge, a new path that sits right between that diploma and a full 4-year degree, offering a clear, accessible way to earn more money.
Okay, so we know you can earn more, but what kinds of jobs are we actually talking about? Let's take a look at the huge range of careers that a 6-month certificate can open up for you. And just look at the variety here. We're not talking about just one little niche. You've got skilled trades like an electrician with a median salary over 61 grand. Then you've got business roles like a real estate broker and super important healthcare jobs like a medical assistant. These are solid, respectable, well-paying careers.
Let's just zoom in on one of these to make it real. A certified nursing assistant, or CNA. These folks are right there on the front lines of patient care. They handle all the essential, day-to-day things that keep a patient comfortable and safe. It's a job that takes a ton of heart, and it's a fantastic way to get your foot in the door of the healthcare field, which is just booming.
Now you might be thinking, okay, that's great, but are these certificates actually legit? Who recognizes them? Well, this is where it gets really interesting, because we're talking about some of the biggest names in the business world. I mean, just take a look at Google. They went ahead and created their own career certificates in super high-demand fields like IT and data analytics. And get this, these aren't just some random online courses. They're actually built and taught by Google employees, the very people who are doing these jobs day in and day out. And it gets even better. Google put together this group of over 150 companies. I mean, look at these logos: Target, Deloitte, Walmart. And all of these companies are actively looking to hire people who finish these programs. So it's not just a piece of paper. It's practically a direct pipeline to some of the biggest employers out there. And hey, this isn't just happening in the tech world. Far from it. If you look at something like project management, certificates like the CAPM or the PMP are literally the gold standard all around the world. They're the credentials that prove you know how to lead big, complex projects. Okay, so maybe you're sold on the idea, but with so many options out there, how in the world do you choose the right program for you? Let's break it down into a simple 4-step guide to help you make a really smart choice. First things first, know where you're headed. What career do you actually want? Second, you got to check out the program itself. Is the material they're teaching current and actually used in the real world? Third, look at the price tag, but don't stop there. Dig into financial aid options. And last, and this is super important, make sure it's accredited. You want a certificate that employers will actually respect. And now, let's talk about one of the biggest wins here, the cost. You can see most of these programs cost anywhere from a few hundred to maybe a few $1,000s.
Now, when you compare that to the tens of thousands you'd spend on a traditional degree, well, the return on your investment is just incredibly obvious. All right, to make a really good decision, you have to look at the whole picture. These programs are amazing, for sure, but they're not necessarily the perfect solution for every single person or career. So let's get real and weigh the good stuff against the potential downsides. So, on the plus side, you're getting a fast, affordable, and really flexible way to learn skills that matter right now. But the downside? Well, that intense focus can be a bit of a double-edged sword. The training is very specific. Some old-school employers might still prefer a full degree, and you might not get the same networking chances as you would on a college campus. It's a trade-off, and it's just good to know that going in.
But for people like Kyle, that trade-off was absolutely 100% worth it. His story really captures the incredible promise of these programs, the freedom to learn while you're still working, and then getting a fast, real result, a better job, and a bigger paycheck. It's pretty powerful stuff.
All right, let's bring it all home. You've done the work, you've earned the certificate, so what's next? How do you take this new credential and really make it work for you for long-term growth?
The trick is to think of your certificate not as the finish line, but as the launch pad. Put those skills to work right away. Think of it as a stepping stone to maybe getting a degree later on. Connect with other people who did the program. And don't forget to work on those soft skills like communication that make you an even better hire.
This quote just nails it. It really sums up where the economy is heading. That stamp of a traditional degree, yeah, it's still valuable. But more and more, what employers really care about are actual, provable skills. They want to know what you can do, and a certificate is proof positive of that. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Forget about the next 4 years for a second. Just think, what one skill, if you learned it over the next 6 months, could completely transform your career? The answer to that could be your next big move. Thanks for hanging out with us today.